hurt. We don't know what that's about. He was not in the starting lineup. Hornacek knocked away. And it's off the foot of the Denver Nuggets. Hornacek shooting crucial in Game 6. He nearly won it single-handedly and took the final shot from outside that would have tied it had it dropped.
Most of the times you would say it's critical for the visiting team to get off to a good start, but this afternoon it's critical for Karl Malone and the Jazz to get off to a big start. Their confidence is sagged after dropping the first 3 ball games, and the visitors, the Denver Nuggets, they feel like they can play if they're 10 or 12 down.
Well, you can see in the starting lineups, they're like a bunch of kids. They are by far the youngest team, and they're just romping the park as Abdul Raouf can't hit the 3, and Colton Spencer sends Stockton the other way. Stockton driving the lane. Rebound, Reggie Williams, the veteran who kept this series alive with his dramatic shot in Game 4. Alfonso Ellis. The foul will be on him. Stockton had the defensive position.
Tough break for Alfonso Ellis, who's had trouble getting off in the first 6 ball games early. Stockton, who doesn't mind sacrificing his body, throws himself in the way, and they get the first call, but Stockton pays.
We understand now the reason Robert Pack left the floor is needed to use the euphemism. He's okay. Stockton out to the wide open man. Karl Malone. He said he's going to have to rub that right arm at the end of this game. He's going to shoot at any chance he gets. Abdul Raouf at the other end. Rebound Spencer. Ty Corbin had the big Game 3 a week ago in Denver. Malone, 4-0.
As long as the Nuggets are walking the ball up, the Utah Jazz have control of the ball game. And that's what John Stockton, Jerry Sloan want to see. That gives them a chance to get back in and defend and make Denver a perimeter team.
Good defense. Malone came up with it. Stockton. It's out of bounds to the Jazz. Last touch by Abdul Raouf.
We know Karl Malone came with more than 1 bullet in his gun today, and he said if he had to fire them all, that's what he's going to do. And this is what Mutombo wants to see. Karl Malone fading away. It's much easier to control Malone and the Jazz when he's playing out on the perimeter.
Malone to Stockton. Abdul Raouf on Stockton. Hornacek cuts through a stick on him.
Everything they run is for Karl Malone, and he said yesterday he's going to have his hands on the ball quite a bit. He's going to be able to make some decisions, and Mahmoud Abdul Raouf takes one.
Spencer got him with an elbow.
Offensive foul, Spencer is first.
Coming through the lane and then trying to come back in and help out. He takes a little short elbow right in the chin.
Talked about walking up the ball versus hurrying it. That'll be the difference in the 2 guards. Abdul Raouf, more patient. He's more the outside shooter. Pack is the hurry-up man.
The things that have worked for the Denver Nuggets have been their post-ups with Reggie Williams, Alfonso Ellis, Dikembe Mutombo. When they are just forced to play outside in, they're not nearly as effective. They've yet to get on the scoreboard.
Nearly 3 minutes gone. 4-0 and a whistle. Another elbow, and this might be on Mutombo. It is.
Coming through the lane, not much of a shot, but a shot anyway, and Jake, with the intent of getting this 7th game under control in a hurry, he was emphatic with that call.
That's right. Open, and the rebound Mutombo. He's averaging 12 a game in this playoff. Reggie Williams fouls way off the mark. And Spencer loses it out of bounds. it's cold.
Well, that's a sign of adrenaline right there. That ball was way long. These guys are really pumped up, and they're going to have to get a little energy drain here to try to find the mark. And Dan Issel is calmly working Jess Kersey on his sideline.
Underneath to Mutombo, and he misses a little tap in, but was fouled by Felton Spencer. So that's his second.
This is a good cut to the basket, and Felton Spencer is late and just gets him with that forearm, and that gets Felton Spencer a second personal foul, and Mutombo will go to the line. And this forces a big change for Jerry Sloan. No big body inside. Now they come back with post-up 4 to Kimby Mutombo against Tom Chambers, who has been struggling.
All of the bench for Utah in the last 3 games having trouble contributing offensively. Mutombo, not a good free throw shooter, but brilliant when he had to be in game 6, and it was his 2 free throws at the end that secured the victory. First point for the Nuggets comes with 8:46 left in this opening quarter.
We say all of that bad offense about Denver, and yet they're only down 3. So they know that if they can stay close, they certainly still have a chance, as they've had in the last 3 ball games, to come out the victor.
Williams on Hornacek. The pick and roll to Malone. That leaves Chambers open. Get hit. Here comes the break, 3-on-3, and Williams slows it up. LaFonso Ellis. Way short, gets it back. Abdul Rauf to Stiff. Mutombo. Abdul Rauf into the heavy traffic, and LaFonso Ellis travels. No basket. 0 for 6 are the Nuggets. 4 minutes into the game. Not a basket.
Multiple opportunities, and that certainly will make any coach pain with regret that they didn't cash in on an easy scoring opportunity. Ellis realizing that he traveled.
And it was Stockton leaving his man to Harris, the shooter, LaFonso Ellis, that managed to travel. Stockton up there offensively. Here come the Nuggets. Reggie Williams. They had the numbers but didn't take advantage. Stiff with a strong move has the first basket. 7:41 left in the quarter. A 4-3 game. Meanwhile, Utah not exactly blazing.
Well, other than Karl Malone, they haven't been able to get it up and down, so they're going to come back to Karl Malone.
2 for 8 for the Jazz. The 2 makes by the mailman. Hornacek runner not there. Stiff. Stockton almost knocked it away, and he forces the turnover. Stockton reaching from behind. And that's 2 plays, the little things you don't see in the box score the next morning that Stockton has delivered. Those are the deflections that Jerry Sloan likes.
That's true, but Dan Issel would rather see a mistake in the open court and pushing the ball than not have them looking for that aggressive offensive opportunity.
Alone with Mutombo. And a whistle. No shot. Time to LaFonso Ellis, and that's his second. Away from the ball, fighting for position.
In Salt Lake in particular, LaFonso Ellis has had a very, very difficult time getting them into the ball game, getting them foul trouble early, and this ball game is no exception, but his replacement has been a huge thorn in the side of his opponents. The Sonics remember him well, and so do these Jazz.
Now, the Jazz fans booing Brian Williams because he's been highly critical of Salt Lake City as a cultural and social experience. Chambers, way short. Abdul Rauf.
The Jazz have no shot blocking, and the Nuggets ought to be thinking about trying to get that ball to the ring.
Abdul Rauf is 0 for 3 from outside. Timeout. 6:40 left in the opening quarter. Welcome back. Salt Lake City, Karl Malone has the only 2 field goals for the Utah Jazz. He says he's ready and he won't be bashful today.
If the shot's there for me, I'm not holding back, I'm taking them. So hell, I might go 0 for 20, but I'm shooting them. And that's how we got here. And I'll be damned if I go out any other way. That's how I'm going out if we have to. So I have a job to do, and we're running some plays. I will have the ball a lot tomorrow. We've discussed that, and a lot of plays will come through me, and I have to make decisions off that.
Indeed, he is the focal point of the offense for the Utah Jazz.
He is carrying him right now. Nobody else can make the shot. They're all afraid of Mutombo.
Oh, there's a basket for Hornacek. Goaltending on Mutombo.
This one just scandalizes Mutombo. It looks like it's going to come off, and he's ready to grab the rebound, and he gets it just as it's on the cylinder, and it's a deuce.
6-3. The Jazz lead it. Alone on Brian Williams. Open Abdul Rauf. He's 0 for 4. Malone with a rebound.
Got a mismatch, and Hornacek wants to try to go against Brian Williams. Did a good job of keeping him outside.
Stockton with 3 on the clock. Short again. So both guards, Abdul Rauf and Stockton, nothing for 4.
Stockton doesn't have the reputation of being a big gun from the outside, but should be able to knock down wide open jumpers. And this is kind of a reflection of what went on in Game 6.
Foul on Brian Williams over the back. His first. Abdul Rauf is out and Robert Pack in. That'll change the whole look for Denver.
In that situation, it looked like everybody got to the ball at the same time, but Brian Williams coming from the outside has his first foul, third team. Jay Humphries in the ball game along with Robert Pack.
Humphries in for Stockton. And it's Hornacek way off the mark. Mutombo has 5 rebounds already. And here's the difference. Pack will get it into that offensive end in a hurry.
Plus, Pack is very dangerous off the dribble and creating penetration. They want to make Karl Malone play some defense. Let's see if Brian Williams can do so.
There's going to be a travel on Williams.
Brian Williams dances as he moves both of his feet before he puts the ball down. Denver's had 5 turnovers here early in the ball game, and I would say that this first period demonstrates the anxiety and the importance for both teams in the ultimate outcome.
Over 7 minutes played, we've seen just 4 field goals, and one was on a goaltend. A reach-in foul. Robert Pack.
Pack says no, and it looks like he's right. He'll come right in here and tip the ball, but from the angle that Jake O'Donnell saw, looked like he came across the top of the arm.
6-3, a cold start for both sides. 4.5 minutes to go in the quarter, and Malone threw that right into Mutombo. And then the foul on Humphries trying to stop Robert Pack. First on Humphries.
Karl Malone said he had to make decisions with the ball. This is a very bad one. There's nobody really in the area where he's throwing the ball, and it was a good reaction by Mutombo.
Trying to throw it through a pine tree. Lots of limbs in it.
Now, the play that works well for them with Chambers against Mutombo is Mutombo down on the box. That's where they're going now.
That's a 3-pointer for Brian Williams. Reggie Williams, excuse me. Reggie hits the 3 to tie it at 6. 4 minutes to go, opening quarter. 6 for Malone. So much at stake for these two teams. The winner to meet the Houston Rockets in the Western Finals. Mutombo. Jump hook not there. Knocked back to Mutombo.
Ryan Schiff was over in the corner, and he was calling for the ball. They didn't see him, so they're going to reset. Same play, try to drop the ball back into Mutombo and make the defense of the Jazz react.
Chambers. Double team, and Reggie for another 3. On Chambers. Hornacek had released was down court, but Reggie Williams picked him up. close.
If he goaltend, he got it with the thumbnail as he's just going across, and if it's a whisper. Well, you got glasses on, tell me.
Yeah, tough to do. Cut your fingernails, Dikembe. 3:07 left in the opening. Tough call for goaltending. It has to be on its downward flight, and it has to be touched, obviously. And from that angle, is it touched?
It doesn't look like it from that angle, but we'll give you one more look, and you'll see a slight deflection. So all 6 eyes of the officials are good today. And, you know, as much as we think that the officials don't see, right on top of that play, and it gives the Jazz a 4-point lead.
Each team struggling on the offensive end. The Nuggets trail by 4, 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Karl Malone has been the offense of this opening period.
They're trying to go through Mutombo and make the defense of the Jazz react because they have Tom Chambers on him.
Back to Mutombo. This is the short jumper. Jay Humphries. Still on the bench for Utah after a cold start. To Chambers. Hornacek with a pass.
If anybody needed a hoop, Tom Chambers needed one of those cheap ones in the worst way. Came into this ball game shooting 28%. Got the good bounce. They post up Rodney Rogers.
Rookie from Wake Forest out to Robert Pack. In fact, has been instrumental in this incredible playoff season for the Nuggets, and they get a second chance.
Under 2 minutes. We're under 2 minutes.
They shut down the penetration of Pack and forced him to go to the weakest part of his game, and he likes to get to that rim. Reggie Williams
Gets the basket, and he is fouled.
He's fouled by Jeff Hornacek. Jeff with his first.
Jeff Hornacek doesn't have enough pressure on him as the passer, and he leads Tom Chambers nice and easy for the hoop. And then Reggie Williams taking advantage of his size against Hornacek, which he's been able to do in all 6 games, draws a foul.
Williams with 6 of the Nuggets' 9. Chambers out to Hornacek. Malone on the side, and Malone! Karl Malone with 10 to lead all scores.
But in a low-scoring game, and with the Nuggets only down 5 points, they're in great position. Malone has had to carry the rest of his teammates through this tough first 12 minutes of play. He gets Mutombo running out. There's nobody in the middle. A hammer on the way down.
And has scored 2,000-plus points in 7 consecutive years, and he can hit them outside, he can hit them inside. And he is the offensive spirit of this team, while Stockton is the great distributor. Pat gets 2. Plastic fingers have become vogue behind the shooter here in the NBA. Looking into something Edgar Allan Poe created. Pack had it for a moment. And Malone and Pack, how are they going to call it?
Pack is the guy who had a chance to seal the game in Game 6 with a pair of free throws, misses both of these, but he rushes to this ball, ends up getting the jump ball out of it. Karl Malone and Pack will jump. The Jazz should look to try to control it, and if you're the Nuggets, you try to steal, although Pack gets off his feet.
Yeah, he'll jump with Malone. And he gets the tip to Brian Williams. And the hold is against Williams. Let's see.
Hornacek.
Well, the way Williams reacted and O'Donnell looked at him, I thought he got it, but Hornacek picks up his second foul. The crowd doesn't like that.
Hornacek had to pay for that hold. However, he had a hold of the arm, took a little shot in the neck, and that's his second personal foul.
So Humphreys and Hornacek with 2. Sheldon Spencer picked up 2 quick ones. Ryan Williams, first point. Has been resting most of the period. 14-11 Utah. Ellis, who's had his best basketball displayed in the fourth quarters of this series. Hornacek with a 3. 50 seconds left. Opening quarter. This would have been a nightmare period for Dan Issel's Nuggets. 11 points, but Utah unable to take advantage. Rodney Rogers off the mark. Reggie Williams gets it and a foul. Karl Malone.
How did Jerry Sloan spell relief? Like to see somebody else other than Karl Malone shooting the basketball and seeing it go in. Hornacek, who really was hot in the third quarter in Game 6, comes up with a big shot. You think Rodney Rogers is going to have a lot to say about this afternoon's game at the offensive end, but the guy that's trying to keep him close right now, Reggie Williams, misses the first free throw.
And the foul was on Chambers, not Malone. Chambers picked up the foul. Two for Reggie Williams, a 5-point game. 5 seconds difference in the clocks. The 3 and a foul.
Reggie Williams did a good job of controlling Hornacek until the shot and couldn't resist chasing and trying to make a block. On the move, tough shot, and he gets a piece of him right at the end. So Hornacek try to come back with back-to-back threes will go to the line.
First foul on Williams. Hornacek, who has been deadly from the line in this series, 29 out of 30. Long range shooter for Reggie Williams looking for the last shot. 9.5 seconds to go. John Crotty makes an appearance for the Utah Jazz.
Humphrey sits down. They don't want him to pick up another personal. They got 9.5 seconds to go before the first quarter comes to a conclusion. So Sloan thinking of protecting, knowing he's got 36 minutes to play. He may have to use all of his guards this afternoon.
Hornacek hits the 2 free throws, a 7-point lead. Dual Rove to pass. And so ends a glacier-like first quarter for the visitors from Denver. 19-12. It was a great vintage, and Karl Malone was the key to Utah. That's the end of the first. Denver hitting only 3 for 20, 15% in the opening quarter. Let's review the series. Karl Malone, of course, the key, led the Jazz to their win in Game 1 by 9 and came right back to match the number on his uniform to give Utah 2-0 lead. And it was 3-0 in overtime in Denver a week ago. Hornacek, the leader, with 27. Then back came the Nuggets. Reggie Williams hit a shot in the final 2 seconds to give Denver a needed win. And then a double overtime victory here on Tuesday night. Mutombo with 7 blocks. He has 36 blocks in the playoff series and came back with a big scoring game as well in that 94-91 win on Thursday. Hannah Storm.
Dick, this is what they talked about in the Denver huddle during that timeout. They're getting their open shots. Obviously, they just can't knock them down, as you see here. Gene Littles, their assistant coach, said that he thinks his team is a little tight. He thinks they're feeling the pressure, and what Dan Issel was telling them to do was relax and try to make those shots. Dick?
All right, Hannah, and the rookie, Rodney Rogers, delivers. It's 19 of 14. Increase against Pack. Matumbo. Like Pack got a piece of the shot. Matumbo just out crossing the center line. Rogers, remember, big guy, but he can shoot the three-pointers. Pack. Ryan Williams flying in to spot the rebound. 4 points for him.
That's where he has really been a force through these playoffs, and no one has discovered you got to put a body between him and the hoop. Every time he goes up, he's looking to make a play to keep the ball alive.
Rebounds. Denver is out. Rebounding. Utah 10-1 offensively. 10-1. Matumbo with a hook. Matumbo, and it's 6 unanswered points for the visitors from Denver to open the second quarter.
And this has been the series story. Utah ahead, but never really able to put them away, and they're going to get a foul against Matumbo.
And that'll be his second.
Ryan Williams was the hero in Seattle with these kinds of play in Game 5, trying to do it here in Game 7, but a tremendous tip. Timothy Matumbo likes the jump hook, but this time he swings it.
Yeah, that's the kind of form that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would have been proud of that shot. And Dikembe Mutombo grew up in the shadow of the Kilimanjaro, Mount Kilimanjaro in Zaire. He's out, and Alfonso Ellis in. Mutombo with 9 rebounds in this first half.
See if they come back to Karl Malone against Ryan Williams. There's no shot blocking. They get an illegal defense, Rodney Rogers.
That's the warning. Stockton has returned, so that partnership with Stockton and Malone will be in action. That's kind of, well, come on. Now we're younger. We're learning. We just give us a break kind of look. And Abdul Rauf and Stockton, and that may be a double foul. They exchanged elbows in close quarters.
This is a massage. Right here, you got Stockton with the hand on the top, and then Rauf with the arms wrapped around him. And he says, no, you've got to give both of us a call if you're going to give one. But the call goes for John Stockton. And right now, Jake O'Donnell right in there again telling him, hey, guys, you can't have that.
It was a double foul. Stockton gets one, and Abdul Rauf also ticketed with his first. It's only 5'11", 175, but pound for pound as feisty as anyone in the league. And it's his total play, and he and Abdul Rauf still going at it. And a technical call this time against Stockton.
We now have technical fouls, one to John Stockton and one to Abdul Rauf.
There's going to be a double here as well.
Stockton not having a good series. He's saying, yeah, it's my foul, but listen, I'm not going to take this from you. And Mahmoud is saying, back at you.
Meanwhile, 19-18, the Jazz lead. They've not scored here in the second quarter, 2 minutes into this period. Chambers.
This is where the pressure becomes so tough for Malone. He's got to make every shot.
And he does, and was fouled. Rodney Rogers got him from the backside.
Because as they set up this play for Karl Malone, no one else wants to shoot. So he realizes he's got to make something happen, and from the rear, Rodney Rogers gets a piece of him. Malone gets a foul, and they have a three-point attempt for Karl Malone from the line, but it has been all Karl Malone here in the first half of play.
Take another look. That makes it 21-18 Utah with 9:52 left in the first half. Welcome back, Karl Malone, 7 times an All-Star, the All-NBA power forward. He has matched Denver in shots made in this first half. 6 for the mailman, 6 for the Nuggets team. Number 3 all-time in playoff scoring. And the 27.3, interestingly, is his exact average in these playoffs. He's at the line. looking for his 13th point. Not totally pleased with what's happened this last week in Game 5 here in Salt Lake City. The owner, Larry Miller, shouted during the course of the game at Cherry Sloan to bench Malone. He was having a bad first half.
He was 1 for 8 at the time, and he didn't feel that Carl Malone had showed up to play. And Malone said, after all the mail I brought to your house, I didn't show up to play.
In his apology, the owner, Miller, said that he's a fine one to shoot his mouth or criticize me for doing it. Rodney Rogers and a foul. And the owner, Larry Miller, at the suggestion of the NBA office and in his own wisdom, has elected not to be in attendance today after a scramble with a couple of Denver fans. Those are his seats, and Pro Miller advocate, keeping it warm for the next round.
This is a guy with great offensive ability, yet to really strike a match with the Denver Nuggets. The Utah Jazz still remember him for the three-point field goals he made in 9 seconds against them earlier this season. But he can post up David Benoit. That's how he got the foul. He gets both of those free throws to drop.
22-20 after a big series against Seattle. Rogers has been quiet against Utah. Stockton and the foul on Abdul Rauf. His second. Stockton a handful.
Rauf is a scrapper and is trying to be competitive. He was fortunate to make that play 1 time earlier. Tried it again. This one goes against him.
22-20 in a low-scoring first half here in Salt Lake City. Chambers, LaFonso Ellis with 2 fouls, got a piece of it. Stockton takes it away, and the basket for David Benoit. Brian Williams with a foul, his second.
Brian Williams saying he didn't touch him, but Tom Chambers aired this when Stockton was the only one that knew it was up for grabs. And from the rear, it looks like Brian Williams gets a piece of Benoit as he goes up. Now he has a chance for a 3-point play.
Benoit, who has not had a good series, extends the Jazz lead to 5 and waves a kind hand at John Stockton for keeping that one alive. Lonzo Ellis, 10-footer, dead center, his first basket. And Malone beats the Nuggets down court to answer.
In Game 5, the Jazz tried to run early with the Denver Nuggets, and it cost them. Malone will streak out whenever he can, but as a team, they're not a team that wants to push the tempo of the game consistently.
Brian Williams over Tom Chambers. Good job by Ellis on the double team to maintain control. 27-24 the Jazz with 8:19 left in the opening half.
The good thing, Dick, for the Nuggets is they've been able to stay close here. No Mutombo in the ball game. They get a foul against Brian Williams. However, on this play trying to come through.
Karl Malone acted that out very well. There was a bump all right, and Malone staggered out of there. 3 on Brian Williams.
How many times over the years have you seen Karl Malone on the front end of a John Stockton pass? He knows if he gets out, he's going to be able to get the ball and finish. And if you're a guy that's defending, you've got to always be aware that Malone is going to run the floor.
And part of the reward, knowing that your effort is going to be just that, rewarded with a Stockton pass. You can run, be open, but if you don't get the ball, you start thinking twice about that energy spending. Dikembe Mutombo returns as Brian Williams sits down with 3, and suddenly Dan Issel has some problems on that front line. 2 fouls on both Ellis and Mutombo and 3 on Brian Williams.
Williams came in, gave him a shot in the arms on the offensive glass, a couple of post-up plays, so he's going to be needed in the second half. Karl Malone only gets 1.
And 16 in the game. Rauf finally gets a basket for Denver, and it's 28-26. Under 8 to go. Malone over Mutombo. Tip
big. It was just that. Offensive rebound, defensive rebound, running the floor. He seems to be in that spirit here early this afternoon.
Into Spencer. Benoit for three. Yes! David Benoit, who's not been able to produce much in this series, comes alive today.
The unknown factor is not Karl Malone. It is David Benoit for the Utah Jazz, and Benoit right there. That one comes out. Benoit, who's had the ability to shoot it deep during his career, but has not cashed at all during this series, comes up big, and his reaction, I'm here today.
No points in game 6, 7 today. In this semifinal round of the playoffs.
The offensive horse is sitting down, and we'll find out whether someone else joins Benoit in this period to be a scoring force for Utah.
Alfonso Ellis, dead center. It's 33-28 points for Ellis. But it's David Benoit, who has made only 3 of 23 shots in the last 3 games, and he's 3 for 3. And Chambers is blocked by Mutombo. A breakout 3-on-1 to Stiff. And he's fouled by Benoit. Now that, as you've pointed out throughout the series, Steve Jones, is the key to Denver's success and why they're here in game 7. Block at one end, run it quick to the other.
Tom Chambers challenging Mutombo, who has said, I don't know why they keep doing this, but they do, but that's what you got to do. You got to bring it.
Don't you come in my house. Unable to make the three-point play, however, and it's 33-30. Malone being rested by Jerry Sloan.
But if you're Utah, you've got to feel desperate because you can't break away from this team. Every time they get bumped out, the Denver Nuggets have been able to answer, and their confidence continues to grow as they stay close. The Jazz letting them hang around.
Hornacek now with 9. Rogers against Benoit. Benoit with 2 fouls. 6 on the shot clock. Abdul Rauf. He hits here at Delta Center, and meanwhile at McNichols in Denver, they love that shot. It's 35-32.
Mahmoud is due for a big game himself, and maybe he's calmed down offensively. We'll find his scoring touch.
Stockton wants it. He's got the 10-footer. A little short. Mutombo, he has 11 rebounds and a half. 3-on-1 break. Abdul Rauf to Stiff. And a whistle. 35-34 if it counts. And Jake O'Donnell talking with Dan Issel.
Well, Issel's all over Jake O'Donnell because he wants a call against John Stockton.
Call against Stockton, his second foul.
On the bust out and a quick exchange between the 2 guards right at the end of the play, and you can't see it down at the bottom, comes John Stockton crashing into Alfonso Ellis, and you see right there he gets knocked, and then boom. If I get the bumper car routine, somebody else is going to get a reaction, and that's what Stockton is saying. Somebody knocked me into that guy.
He had an argument, but you don't often see that, but you couldn't miss the fact that he made that Elvis collision and draws the foul. Rodney Rogers out, Reggie Williams in, and here comes the mailman, Karl Malone, for Tom Chambers.
And the reason the mailman got that short breather, the scoreboard, Ellis with this free throw has a chance to tie the ball game up.
5:23 to go. It would be the first time that Denver's been even since the opening bell, and another miss from the free throw line. It's starting to cost Denver. 7 for 13. Malone aggressively. He flew right by Mutombo. 18 points for Malone. He's true to his word. Big hat. Abdul Rauf way off the mark. Stiff takes it into the heavy traffic and is blocked.
But the offensive rebounds there in a big favor of the Denver Nuggets right now.
Malone again. Oh my, Karl Malone with 20. He's 9 for 11 shooting.
But they have needed that 9 for 11. They only have a 5-point advantage. They haven't really been able to get control of the game. Denver hanging around at 5 down. sitting there, Jake O'Donnell said, yeah, okay, I'll let you have the call. But the call was made on the other side of the floor.
Technical on Reggie Williams, the foul on Hornacek. So they are not going to allow any jabbering or taunting or even anything close.
Karl Malone back on top. As soon as they brought him in, he delivered immediate dividends. The reaction is, yes, I'm dancing today. Hornacek ends up talking his way into the free throw.
This is the technical and gives him 10 points in the game. And now it'll be Reggie Williams shooting at the other end. Hornacek goes out with 3 fouls. Reggie Williams now saying some argument with official Gabby. Nuggets shooting only 50% from the line, 7 for 14.
As good as they were down the stretch in game 6, they've been that bad this afternoon. See if Reggie converts on this one.
40 to 35 Utah with 2:20 to go in the half.
His slump really continuing from game 6. He's yet to get a field goal down and see if they find a way to get him involved.
He's over 4. Humphries takes it in. Spencer keeps it alive.
Wanting to pick and roll with Karl Malone.
Malone feeds Spencer. Beautiful pass from Malone, and that matches Utah's biggest lead, 7.
Karl Malone is involved in all the pick and rolls, and as he said, he's got to make good decisions with the ball. The best one in a passing mode for Karl Malone today, Felton Spencer, right on top of the rim.
Into Mutombo. Alfonso Ellis. Shot over Malone. Mutombo gets it, and he's handled. And if that's Felton Spencer, it's his third. It is not. It's Stockton, his third.
I don't know which trade-off is the better. It looked like Mutombo got a shot from the rear from Felton Spencer. Stockton reaching in, but Stockton has not been a factor in this game in terms of producing points at the offensive end.
Jake O'Donnell over to talk to the official score. I don't know if there's been a change in the foul. John Crotty is going to come in for Stockton. Crotty, the second-year man out of Virginia. Stockton, who's contributed his usual role as a top assist man and defensively, not on the offensive end in terms of scoring, and now probably sit out the rest of this half with 3:20 left. And the woes from the line for Denver continue. 8 for 16. Nuggets and Flies down there in the mine getting some gold, but it's just been fool's gold opportunity thus far. Remains a 7-point lead for the Jazz. Now Crotty running the show. This man's here, Abdul Rauf was on Malone, and Crotty left alone. Mutombo saves his 13th rebound of the half.
Denver has done an excellent job of controlling their defensive glass. When there has been a miss, Utah's only gotten one scoring chance.
Abdul Rauf over Crotty, 42-37. 6 points for Benoit inside. No foul.
Left that one short. He went up and got a bump, but didn't go up strong.
Reggie Williams, he can't touch it, and saving him was stiff. And the foul is on Holmes. Reggie Williams was just trying to get out of the way and threw a block into Jay Humphries, his second foul.
Reggie Williams was trying to make a pass right here, knew he couldn't touch the ball again, so I'm not going to let Jay Humphries get to it, and Jay Humphries does a good job of...
It pays to be theatrical. A 5-point lead, Utah. Opens at Houston on Monday night, the Western Finals. But one thing for certain now, the West will bring a new member to the NBA Final Party. Phoenix is out.
Robert Pack comes back in the game for Raouf, who was just getting the heater going. He's made his last three.
Spencer versus three, and Matumbo.
See, all of those blue jerseys come back, so they're making a concerted effort to keep them at one shot.
Less than 2 minutes to go. Robert Pack to Alfonso Ellis. Reggie Williams. Karl Malone rebounds. He has 6. Body for Stockton, the playmaker. Corbin into Spencer. Working on Alfonso Ellis. Blocked by Matumbo, his second. And a foul on Pack, pushing Malone.
The one thing about the youthful Nuggets, they don't recognize control. And when the other player has it, Felton Spencer thought he was in deep. Matumbo reacted to make the save. The ball will come out long, and Robert Pack just keeps chasing, and he keeps chasing the NBA record for blocks. He's going to build and build on it.
Got 2 today to give him 38 total. That's an all-time record. He set the record 31 in just 5 games against Seattle. So Dikembe Mutombo, 69 blocks in the 2 series playoffs.
Did you see that graphic? 14 rebounds already. 14.
Meanwhile, Karl Malone racking up his own numbers. This would be his 22nd point. And back to a 7-point advantage, the Utah Jazz. That's been their biggest lead. Denver has never led. They had a chance to tie it at 35-34. Missed the free throw. Pack against Roddy, and that'll be against Pack, his third.
Number 14.
So, foul trouble starting to be a factor with the Denver Nuggets.
Pack led with the forearm and just trying to push Roddy out of the way. So he picks up the personal foul. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf will come back in the ball game. Pack not happy the way the whistles have been blown against him.
Brian Williams and Robert Pack each with 3 for Denver, and John Stockton being rested with 3, Utah.
But if you're Karl Malone and the Jazz, you cannot feel good about your 7-point advantage because you really haven't dominated the game, and it's been a huge first half by Malone just to keep that lead.
Whistle away from the ball, and illegal defense to call, and that's a technical foul. And Jerry Sloan was up shouting in Jake O'Donnell's ear to help him out.
Denver, eliminating at the second time a technical free throw.
Mutombo out of position. Listen, if you got some free time in the off-season, come down to Illinois. I got these swamp meets and these farm fairs and auctions, and we'll have some fun. Sloan always takes a lot of money along with him when he drives around because he loves to go with those yard sales, and he's made some great bargains. He's the Al McGuire of the modern world.
Or Al is of another word.
That's absolutely right. Last minute. Corbin. Over Reggie Williams. Stiff saves. Barely.
You have to look at all of the other offensive players for Utah and say they are all tight. They are not shooting the ball with any kind of freedom.
There's that foul on Karl Malone with that swat of his, the quick slap. And it's a very effective defensive weapon, probably best in the entire league at getting the ball while it's down around the waist of an opponent. He's got tremendously quick-fingered hands. Of course, opponents feel he fouls a lot, but tough to see if he does. Ellis makes it 9 for 18 as a team. Denver at the line. Pretty consistent with his regular season average. Alfonso Ellis in his second year out of Notre Dame.
And most of the damage that Ellis has done against the Jazz has
lead of the game. 8 points. About a 2-second difference in the clocks at the end of the half. Abdul-Rauf can't hit. Roddy saves it for Corbin, and that's the end of the first half. And Utah saves best for last, led by the mailman, Karl Malone. They leave with an 8-point lead at the break, 46-38. Welcome back. We're ready for the second half. And a reminder again, the home court advantage in Game 7 with Houston beating Phoenix today. 15 straight times the home team has won Game 7, leading scores. No one in double figures for the Nuggets. Reggie Williams with 8. And Karl Malone carrying the weight of these playoffs and his great 9-year career in the NBA on his broad shoulders with a big half, 22 points as we go into the second half. Reggie Williams, Dikembe Mutombo, Stiff, and Ellis the same five that started for Denver. It's Corbin, Stockton, Spencer, Malone, and Hornacek for Utah. Mutombo way out of his range, and Malone has the rebound.
Mutombo had to take a shot against the clock, and he looked up and saw it was down to 4, so he aired it out. But they haven't really been very successful in their half-court set so far here in this first 2 quarters of play, and it's the start of the third.
Stockton playing with 3 fouls. Hornacek gets the roll. First time that either team's had a 10-point lead. In fact, Utah has never had the lead. 12 for Hornacek. In case you're wondering, Denver has not had the lead. Just looking back 2 weeks ago in Seattle, the score at halftime then was 44-41 Seattle. Denver rallying to finally win it in overtime. Mutombo, right over the top, misses everything. Comes out to Abdul-Rauf. And he scores.
Opportunity baskets is what they have been thriving off of, and that was another one because Mutombo just overlaid one from about a foot away.
Stockton. His first basket of the game. Stockton knocks it out of bounds. That'll go to Denver.
Stockton has been struggling since Game 6 late, where he was not shooting the basketball, has not shot it well here this afternoon, but gets set when they go in, and comes out very aggressive after seeing the ball go in the basket. 14 on the shot clock as they get set up.
Knocked away by Stockton, recovered by Stiff with 7. Reggie Williams for 3. And another chance for the Nuggets. Stiff. Ball. Spencer. And here come the Jazz with a 10-point lead. Dalton Spencer. Blocked by Ellis. Ellis pulls up at the other end and misses, and Karl Malone rebounds. He has 9.
Even though he took that quick jump shot, that's a good scoring chance for those Denver Nuggets, and they've got to have more of those rather than stay in a half-court set. They're only down 10 as Mutombo picks up the foul. Very smart offensive play by Karl Malone.
And Malone acts it out as he falls hard out of bounds. So Mutombo has his third.
Mutombo comes quickly because Karl Malone has been burying these all afternoon. Malone's, he withstands a hit and will go to the line.
4 for 5 shooting is Karl Malone. He hopes that his Karl, first name K-A-R-L, won't be the same unfortunate day as George Karl. suffered in Seattle and continues to torture him.
When we remember in the Seattle Game 5, the Sonics were able to bust out to an 11-point lead. It looked like they were going to put that game away at the top of the third, and the Nuggets, they were resilient. They came back and eventually won. We got a 12-point lead now, and the Nuggets feel if they're within 10 or 12, they are still going to prevail and win the game.
They feel that the fourth quarter will be theirs. The younger legs, the demands, and tripping foul on Stockton will be his fourth.
Number 4 for Stockton.
It's tough to get a rhythm for a game when you're sitting on the bench, and Stockton's very frustrated by the calls, but it's been touch and push and in the wrong place at the wrong time. You see the reaction as Jay Humphries comes in very quickly for him.
Smith able to squeak in for the rebound and then loses it out of bounds. So just as the Nuggets started the game having trouble scoring, so they do the second half.
But they continue to do this. Try to keep the ball alive. Give themselves second, third opportunities. He dribbled that one off his foot. Jay Humphries in the game, and Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf has got to think about attacking him. He's got a bad leg and really hasn't performed well in the series.
Hornacek, Reggie Williams with the rebound and a foul.
Blue ball foul.
Not getting up is Lonzo Ellis.
Second pass team foul.
Did not see what happened to Ellis, but the foul was on Spencer, his third.
He's up now, and he may have twisted an ankle on that rebound. Reggie Williams came flying in. He goes up for the ball and comes down, and it looked like either the ankle or the knee buckled, and he is writhing in pain.
Comes down on the foot of Felton Spencer. The left ankle turns as he landed on Spencer's foot. He's able to walk gingerly off the court.
That's a very good sign. I mean, he's walking fairly strongly on that ankle, and what they'll probably do is try to get some more tape on it and get him back in the ball game.
Nice that down. Brian Williams replaces Ellis. To 40 Utah. Houston waits with smiles. Winning game 7 against Phoenix by 10 early. Reggie Williams.
Basket by Williams.
Leads Denver with 10. Hornacek over Brian Williams. Gets it back to Hornacek. Malone wanted it. What a game for Malone. The All-Pro has 26.
The only way that they're going to stop Karl Malone is to get him on the bench. He's fouled out of a couple of ball games trying to attack with Brian Williams.
Mutombo able to knock home the second chance. He has 5 points. Left ankle sprain or strain we hear now. It's not serious and he'll return. Karl Malone misses one. That's been rare today. Malone fouled by Mutombo, and he acted that one out pretty well as they ran back down court. There was a mild bump and Malone goes down. 4 fouls on Mutombo.
Tricks of the trade, and Karl Malone has plenty right here.
How can you call that? In this game of contact, how could that be? I can understand Mutombo's problems there and accepting that as a foul. And all we've seen throughout the playoffs, that's pretty thin.
Cheap is the word that we use on this side, and that was a cheap foul. And Mutombo trying to stay out on the floor, have to sit down. They come back with Alfonso Ellis.
The fans loved it. Malone is part of his total game. He's done everything right. Now, without that great shot blocker, they'll take it inside. And he has 4. Different game with Mutombo on the pine.
But the Nuggets Nuggets have to make someone else beat them. And if they can keep Karl Malone passing, certainly the way that the Jazz have got the ball, they have a chance to get back in the game. The post-up plays have been the ones that have been the most successful for the Nuggets. They get an illegal defense.
Warning, Jazz. Illegal defense warning and a timeout taken now by the Jazz.
A timeout. 6:35 left in the third. The Utah lead is 12. Dikembe Mutombo, 5 points and 15 rebounds, a couple of block shots, but also 4 fouls. And here is the fourth. They're running down court away from the ball, and well, they're a little push, and Malone got that slide down.
He does, but he got right in the way of Dikembe Mutombo. Now the rule is you got to let the offensive player at least have a place to run. If the call should have gone anywhere, it should have gone against Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz.
12-point game. Point of the third quarter. Reggie Williams inside, and the foul on Karl Malone will be his second. But it sends the Nuggets to a dangerous place, the free throw line, where they have been dismal today.
Good baseline driving. Very few players take advantage of the baseline being open these days, but he's able to get in and hurt the interior defense of Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz.
9 for 20 free throw shooting. Reggie Williams, the veteran, the captain, the only player on the team that's 30 years of age. The team averages 25. Still today, Reggie Williams was their best free throw shooter, 12 for 13. He's 4 for 7 this afternoon. 11-point game, 6:21 to go in the third. Tom Hammond sees his first duty of the day for Denver, number 21.
The offense of Utah really slows down because Stockton is not in there, and they're working against the clock now at 5.
Karl Malone, 28. The mailman is delivering today.
The Denver defense now has to force somebody else to score the ball while they find an offensive hero themselves. Reggie Williams trying to go one-on-one.
Williams. Malone clears it. He's now 11 rebounds, 28 points. Rios. What a pass to Corbin. He'll be selling hot dogs in the timeout. That's the only thing he hasn't done.
Karl Malone has learned over the years that he is the guy to make the pressure shots for the Utah Jazz. Today, he said, I relish the 7th game and all the responsibilities that go with it. Pounds that big fat chest and says, I am the man and I will make all of the plays. And a no-look, easy 2 for Ty Corbin. He is bailing them out this afternoon.
He may not have been happy earlier in the week, but he's making a lot of folks joyous now. Well, it used to be the New Orleans Jazz, and a product of Louisiana, Karl Malone has got it jazzed up here at the Delta Center. In the series, averaging 26, he has 28 points, and we still have over 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Plus 3 assists and 1 block shot. A 15-point lead for the Jazz in the third.
Now, what the Nuggets need to try to do is stay close. They want to cut this game back down to single digits by the end of the third quarter of play, and they've got to find one play that will work for them at the offensive end. In previous series, it's been a post-up play. They tried it for Brian Williams. He picked up a foul. Reggie Williams comes out. Robert Pack will come into the game. So they're going small, but they've got Rodney Rogers up front with Tom Hammond.
Corbin committed a foul, his first. Each team with 14 fouls now, so they'll be at the line the rest of the way in this quarter. Pack has not scored in the game. Brian Williams, heavy traffic, and makes a tough 5-footer. He has 8.
They know they can get a shot against Tom Chambers. That's why Hornacek had to come over to the double team. So who's ever guarding Hornacek should be thinking about going to the hoop.
Bad pass by Corbin, but it was deflected by Rodney Rogers.
Brian Williams has the ability to post up, turned in face, and really worked hard to get this one, but a good, strong effort produces 2 out of the half court.
Hornacek gets the 2 at the other end. He has 14. Again, a 15-point bowl for Utah.
Hammond's trying to post up, and this has been a play that's been effective, but he couldn't control Ty Corbin.
Corbin stole it. Corbin at the other end. Scores! Utah by 17. They're on their feet now. Corbin with 2 quick baskets, and they smell the finals in the West, the Utah Jazz.
Ty Corbin gets around Tom Hammond, and that starts the transition opportunity. He just leaves it out for him with his foot speed and quickness, and he's able to get the quick score. Then it's Karl Malone feeding Ty Corbin again, or excuse me, after they got the ball around to the top of the key from Tom Chambers, and Corbin free and easy now after a tough first half. He's got 6 in the third quarter of play.
They're pointing toward Houston. 3:45 left in the third, and an interesting aspect of this game is the way the Jazz, as they did all season long, have protected the ball. They allowed less steals than anyone in the league. They were second to Cleveland, least number of turnovers, and they committed only 2 turnovers today.
They have done the one thing that you want to do as we take a look at their playoff average versus what they've done today is keep the cheap points from happening against them. And during the regular season, they were terrific in taking care of the basketball. So Sloan has got his team in a position right now to close out Cinderella. And we got 15 minutes before the dance is over.
Before midnight.
Daniel now has got to come back with some quick hitting offense. And if you can do that, and again, the idea is not to get 20 points back in one play, but to try to eat into the lead and get some offensive momentum. They have been struggling, and if they can come up with 8 to 10 points here, they will be back in the game in the fourth quarter. Mutombo back in, but 69% will keep you in a hole, particularly when you're shooting 31.
While Mutombo was down, Utah ran off a 12-3 scoring splurge. Robert Pack inside. Can't score. Brian Williams. Is it knocked away? There's Malone with that quick slap denying. And Pack holding a right eye that must have been poked in that exchange.
Pack coming down the lane hard. I think his imagination got away from him here because you're not dunking from out there, little man. And he just left it short and his own man hit him.
Abdul Rauf, tough pick set up that dumped to Jay Humphries. 66-49, 3:20 to go in the third.
Denver has been resilient defensively, and they're going to have to do it now. They're going to have to shut down Karl Malone and the Jazz for the next 3-12.
There's Malone, another assist, and a foul. Jay Humphries gets the basket. Abdul Rauf the foul, number 3.
What makes this play give and go? If you cut to the basket, the defense has to respect that. And that's what Karl Malone is doing. He's making them respect cutters. You come down the lane, the middle is open because Mutombo is out guarding him. You got 2. And that's what Raul is saying. Somebody's got to be back there.
Humphries' first points of the game. 3-point play to give Utah a 20-point edge. 3 minutes to go in the third. Chambers all over Mutombo, picks up the foul. His second. Dikembe Mutombo, and it's not as simple as that, his name. He has actually 8 names. Dikembe, a nickname given to him. He was born a very weak child. He was in the hospital the first 6 months of his life. Too soft a body, too soft, his family said. So Dikembe translates banana, soft as a banana. Matumbo, the name of his village.
Tom Chambers does not think so. And he's pushing and shoving, and Jake O'Donnell wanted to make sure there were no extra exchanges. Stayed in front of Matumbo, let him cool off, and let's see how he does with these opportunities at the line.
He's now 2 for 5 free throw shooting. This series points up. His blocks way up, averaging 6 blocks a game in this series. And it's both free throws. John Stockton on the bench for Utah. Breeze running the show. Set inside. Jeff Hornacek, the man acquired after the All-Star break from Philadelphia, chipping in with 16. He's a key cog in Utah's thrust toward the Western Finals. Reggie Williams will trade off the rim, and Brian Williams to pass. Brian Williams, 71-53 Utah, 10 for Brian.
See if they can get some stops, because right now it's been very easy for the Utah Jazz to score. That's why they busted the game open. They got to make the rest of the Jazz tentative at the offensive end. They have not been able to close down Karl Malone.
5 on the clock. Hornacek takes it in deep again. Ryan Williams to Pack. The Energizer, Robert Pack, takes it all the way in. He has that good look-off move on the dribble, and then he sees a little daylight, and like a good halfback slashing off guard and tackle, makes the play.
But with that dance to daylight, he gets his first 2 of the afternoon.
Minute and a half left in the third. Into Malone. Way off on that one. How quickly Pack has it in the offensive end, and scores again. 2 in a row, and the lead cut to 14. 6 unanswered by Denver.
See how quickly you can get back in the game. They're now back in touch, and if they can get one more stop and a score, they're within 12 and possibly 10 before the quarter concludes.
Inside the chamber. Ty Corbin. Corbin, who had that great start a week ago in Game 3, that was key in Utah winning in overtime.
He had 19 in that ball game, was free and easy until he started posting him up. And Rodney Rogers has to do that and make him a defensive liability.
Reggie Williams 2, and Williams leads Denver with 13. 7-second difference in the clock. Oh!
The toughest part about trying to make a comeback is that everything has to go right for you. Otherwise, you see your opponent going to the line. Karl Malone gets a good, quick first step by Matumbo. They try to collapse, but nobody's really set in their position, so the call goes against Reggie Williams and the Nuggets. Third personal, third team, but Malone has been the man this afternoon, and Issel understands that. And if they're going to get any kind of a run, they've got to get the ball out of his hands and make some other people shoot.
Malone 6 for 8 now from the line. He sights in, looking for his 29th. His partner in offensive excellence, watching as a spectator much of this third quarter. 15-point lead, Utah. Shot clock is off.
In this situation, is going to try to bust down the lane, create some sort of penetration.
The rim. Doesn't matter where he is on the court. He's always close. And Utah with a tremendous burst in the third with a man at the whip. Karl Malone, a 15-point lead at the end of 3. Now a word from your local station. 15-point lead for the Jazz. NBC presenting NBA and unlimited expenses during the playoffs. Last week we had the Gorilla in Phoenix. Who's our mystery cameraman today? Well, he does do it all, doesn't he? John Stockton back on the court. 2 points and 6 assists today. And now it's a matter of not making mistakes. A big, big lead at home for Utah. Malone with 5. Rattles out, and Reggie Williams has it for Denver, and Pack on the run. He beat his entire team down court.
They want to come inside to Mutombo. Again, the post-up play has been the most effective one for them.
Alfonso Ellis. Stockton with a rebound. Karl Malone at the other end with both palms facing the floor as if to say, hey, slow it down. No hurry here. Let's burn up as much clock as we can.
There's plenty of time in the game, and the Utah Jazz can't become a stagnant team at the offensive end, so they got to still try to stay in the attack mode.
Mutombo with a rebound on the miss by Spencer. 16 boards for Mutombo. Reggie Williams. Stockton out of the scramble with the ball as Corbin hit today. Ty Corbin had a big third quarter, 8 points. And Pat trying to cut off the drive with Stockton, picks up the foul, his 4th. Dan Issel, who, as everyone knows, a big lover of thoroughbreds, growing up in Kentucky and going to school there and owning a race farm himself. He picked Bloomin' Affair in the Preakness, and it has been a bloomin' affair with these young Denver Nuggets. Well, he was wrong. Preakness was won today by Tabasco Cat, Kentucky Derby winner gopher Jim 2nd and Concern 3rd. So maybe it's a symbol of the day. You know, the Bloomin' Affair didn't get on the board at Pimlico, and it's going to take a real miracle now for this wonderful playoff life of Denver to continue.
They need to have some pressure on the basketball and make the Jazz shoot the ball under pressure from the outside. They haven't given up a lot of offensive rebounds, but Shelton Spencer comes up with a big catch and throw back out.
No scoring yet. We played over 2 minutes of the 4th quarter. David Benoit for 3. Reggie Williams loses it, and it touches Mutombo on the way out of bounds. Nope. It appeared it might have hit Mutombo's leg, and it'll be Denver going the other way with a timeout.
Dan Issel shakes his head. He knows he hasn't gotten a break. That one goes off Brian Williams.
Well, you can't win them all.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Today's Miller Genuine Draft Genuine Moment takes us back 10 years to the 1984 Western Conference first round. Utah Jazz making their first appearance in the playoffs, pushed to the limit by Dan Issel and the Denver Nuggets. But the Nuggets defeated in 5 games as number 4, Adrian Dantley, led the Jazz as he poured in 30 points, 12 rebounds. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft donates $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Dan Issel's team winning 6 games at the verge of elimination. That's an all-time playoff record.
And if they're to keep that going, they've got to have Reggie and the Miracles do something good. They get a call against Jay Humphries to try to get it started.
Facing elimination in these playoffs 6 times. 3 against Seattle, 3 to deny Utah until this one. Phoenix in '93 had 5. Reggie Williams at the line looking for the first point by either team in this fourth quarter, and it took 2 minutes and 33 seconds to score.
Alfonso Ellis has been huge for the Nuggets in the fourth quarter of play, and they gave him a chance to try to get them something. That ankle perhaps bothering him still, so he's down. So they've got to find another big force. Reggie has been 50% from the line this afternoon.
Beautiful pass to Felton Spencer, and a foul. Spencer almost ripping down the backboard. Reggie Williams has his fourth.
Stockton, with no pressure on him, has the ability to see people cutting to the lane. Not much contact there, but the foul goes against Reggie on the way up as he got the arm closest to the basket. Felton Spencer shoots the ball.
And the lead is back to 17. Denver, almost 3 minutes without a field goal to open the fourth quarter.
We come back to Reggie Williams.
They don't have a great outside shooter. The only one on the roster is Abdul Raouf, and a steal by Malone. It's going to be quite a portfolio. He gives us a smile as he talks back on defense. He knows he's good today, and he promised he would be. And a jump ball. Benoit tied up. Ryan Williams will jump it with him.
The booze cascade down. Those here at the Delta Center felt that Ryan Williams came over the top, but they reached the ball at the same time. Benoit bringing it down. The officials call a jump ball.
Robert Pack, he's the fastest and gives it to Smith. What a play by Jay Humphries. A foul is called. Humphries seemed to make the good deny, but got a hand on the wrist apparently of Smith.
Pack on a bust out, and they come across, and it looked like he got the ball clean, but the Nuggets, they needed a break. Maybe this is the one that'll get them started the other way.
Smith with only 6 points in the game. And at the second point of the quarter. 8.5 minutes left as Hornacek returns and Humphries out. Stiff with a deuce. It's a 15-point lead for Utah.
The Nuggets are not yet at the point of no return in getting back into this game, but they really have to be able to force some turnovers and stop them from scoring close.
Off the miss by Felton Spencer. 17 boards now from the top. And there's the charge against Pack as Hornacek goes down. And the Nuggets feel like they're just not getting anything. That's a home court advantage. The home team falls down, and there's contact, and you're going to get a foul. Stockton appeared to be moving into Pack, not establishing. He had not really established position, but that's a moot point.
5 on Robert Pack. Stockton taking a chance himself with 4 personals.
No traffic. Spencer came out of there twisting and turning, and Utah with a 77-62 lead, and Hornacek from Malone. Rebound Williams. Pack now playing with time. Still no field goal for the Nuggets in the quarter, and they played 4.5 minutes.
Stiff wants the ball. This is a play that has worked for them. Him being able to get a shot against Hornacek.
Stockton with a block, and then a jump ball.
Stiff right here. He thought he was going to be able to overpower him, but it was a big play by Stockton from the rear. Got it back, and it fell to Spencer, who tied him up. Felton
Spencer with About a half-foot advantage on this tip. But Stiff able to bat it out to Reggie Williams. The Nuggets opening the game had great difficulty in the scoring. And so it is into the fourth quarter. And Mutombo throws it away as Pack gets knocked down. The pass goes right to Benoit. And Issel's wondering, will I get a whistle?
And he's saying the Lucky Brown suit has run out.
Thrown to Stockton. To Spencer. 79-62. Spencer with 9. He was a great acquisition from Minnesota. Mike Brown going to the Timberwolves. Milton Spencer. Timeout Denver with 6:45 left. Welcome back to Salt Lake City. Here's that play where Pack went down and Mutombo tried to pass to a man who was not there.
Well, Robert's hands right here kind of put him in a box, and you'll end up down here. Watch the foot of Karl Malone as we let it clear. Now suddenly, he's down.
Mutombo pleading his case with Steve Javy, but to no avail. Meanwhile, the Jazz fans on their feet, 17-point lead, apparently on their way to Houston for game 1. Abdul Rauf for 3. Malone bats it away, and he hustles down court. Gets in the corner and Spencer bumps him, and that has to be a foul. So in this fourth quarter, the Denver Nuggets, their impossible dream season being cut down by their own inability to score. They haven't hit a field goal.
That has been the storyline of this ball game. They just have not been able to get it up and down from the perimeter, and the Utah Jazz are willing to give them all of those shots. They've been able to get second opportunities. Brian Williams almost got himself one there, but Benoit controls.
In case you're wondering, Houston and the Jazz played 6 times and were 3-3 in the regular season. Benoit. Draws a foul.
Karl Malone made it easy for these guys to become loose, and he made the big plays early. Now they're having fun as you get a great feed and a big throwdown and a celebration between Felton Spencer and David Benoit.
Yeah, they've been watching NBC. They kind of like that Indiana Pacer routine. Season for one of these teams, and it appears the Nuggets in a bright future ahead. Mutombo hits them both. 9 points in the game for Mutombo to go with 17 rebounds.
They have not made the Jazz make mistakes with the basketball, and you see Sloan is telling the team, work the clock, use all of that, and then go through Karl Malone. They go to a two-man game.
Stockton throws it away. A rare turnover by Stockton. It's Brian Williams going the other way and scoring around the corner. That's the first basket. It comes with 7.5 minutes played in the fourth quarter. A 7.5-minute field goal drought for Denver.
The bad thing is the shots have been there. It hasn't been there. Such great defense. The crowd does not like this call. It goes against the Jazz. Hornacek couldn't control it.
Robert Pack made the defensive play. Abdul Rauf is the man they'd like to get a three-point shot. Reggie Williams for three and hits it. 81-69. A final try offensively from the Nuggets, who have scored 5 unanswered to cut into the Utah lead. It's 12.
Well, if they're going to go out, they're going to go out making everyone realize that this is a tough, gritty team. As Reggie Williams fires one from deep, and Dan Issel thinks, oh, about time.
That was the same spot where Williams hit to keep the series alive at the end of game 4. Trying to put up the hold sign and move into the finals in the East against Indiana.
Fans here at the Delta Center want to see the hammer thrown down. They feel they need 1 or 2 more cheap shots. They almost got one there from Felton Spencer.
Ryan Williams with his 4th foul. Here's Hannah.
Denver's the most tenacious team in the NBA, and they feel that they still have a shot at winning this thing. They think they just need 1 or 2 consecutive defensive stops because they're encouraged by the way they've been shooting the ball in recent minutes. One note, though, they will definitely be without LaFonso Ellis for the rest of the game. He's unable to play on that sprained left ankle. Dick?
And that's a bad loss, a tough loss for Denver. And LaFonso Ellis has scored 40% of his total in the entire playoffs game in the 4th quarter. The shooting percentages by quarter, Denver off fully 14%. Even with this recent surge, hitting only 25% in the 4th quarter. Spencer with 2 free throws, 11 points in the game.
It's a bad sign when Felton Spencer has got 7 in the quarter. Karl Malone hasn't scored. You're not making a big dent in that lead. Mahmoud.
He hits inside the line, 83-71. The clock is the enemy of the Denver Nuggets, and there's now 3:25 to go. Malone just inside the line. Reggie Williams with a rebound, and here comes Robert Pax. Robert Pax to the Mutombo, and a foul on Malone. He denied the easy slam and puts Mutombo on the line. 3rd foul on the mailman.
The Nuggets do an excellent job of penetrating the basketball and breaking down the defense of the Utah Jazz and trying to go for the two-handed hammer. Dikembe Mutombo. Mutombo was so remarkable in Game 6 in shooting the ball from the line, and he settled into his old self this afternoon. Maybe he's going to come up with some sharp shooting down the stretch. It's an 11-point game. He's trying to get it to 10.
At the line today, 6 for 9, looking for his 11th point. 83-73, a 10-point lead with 3 minutes to go. Houston, a 10-point winner earlier against Phoenix.
Malone hasn't scored in the 4th.
This is that one, but Ty Corman gets it, and Reggie Williams knocks it out of bounds. Utah ball. 2:47 left.
You know, and as much as we've talked about these Jazz and dominating the ball game, they've only scored 9 points in the quarter themselves. So they have slowed down. They have become a team that is now not really playing to win the game outright, but to keep their opponents from catching them. And they're working the clock.
Mutombo with the deflection. Malone is 0 for 7 in this quarter. That's the difference. Pack takes it right up Mutombo's back. Mutombo running the alley, and Pax says, "I'll just ride him," and now they believe in Denver. McNichols Sports Arena. That's a live shot of the thousands who have gone to the home arena in Denver to cheer en masse. It's an 8-point game.
They've become tentative again. The clock is at 4. Stockton.
Over Brian Williams. Back to a 10-point advantage. Less than 2 to go. Timeout, Denver.
The Denver Nuggets have relied on their defense, and it's good reaction by Dikembe Mutombo that gets him out in the sprint. And Robert Pack just follows Mutombo right down the lane. What a block.
85-75, under 2 to go. Welcome back. Denver, as has been the case in winning the last 3 games, outscoring Utah in the 4th quarter. They led by a total of 20 in the last 3 games, and another +6 today. But will it be enough as time runs out on this Cinderella playoff run by the Denver Nuggets?
They wanted to try to get a 3-point attempt coming out of that huddle, and they're working against a real tenacious defense.
Reggie Williams can hit the 3. Brian Williams gets it back. And Malone caught reaching in his 4th foul. You knew it. Checks the clock. 1:43 remaining.
Number 4 for Carl.
Well, Denver at the line, and you have to wonder what if they've been more successful there. 19 for 31 in the game. They trail by 10. Williams is 2 for 2. He's not asking for a test of heart, Dan Issel. It's a play signal.
They want to come out of this with some pressure. They're expecting Brian Williams to make the free throw, but they want to come up and be very aggressive, see if they can't force a turnover as he gets the second one to fall.
43 to go, 9-point lead for the Utah Jazz. Malone inside, scores! Karl Malone with 31 and Mutombo saying you got away with one there. You pushed me out of there. Maybe next year when I put on some weight to get them. Pack inside to Mutombo. And the foul on Spencer will be his 5th.
Karl Malone with a little payback. Dikembe Mutombo has shut down the middle on a lot of occasions. Malone gets this one and then gives him a little of his own medicine. No way. He said, I'll get you back.
Well, Karl Malone told us a week ago, though, if the Jazz go on to win the NBA championship, he's through. Now, we saw Charles Barkley has changed his message already.
Charles Barkley did not go out on the note that he'd like to, and certainly he wants to win a championship. That's the driving force for Karl Malone. He has said that when he wins a championship, he'll be through. He doesn't have it yet, so there's still time to play.
Free throws for Denver today. A real sore spot. Mutombo gets 1 out of 2. It's back to a 10-point game. 1:15 to go. Over Brian Williams. 89-77. Utah Jazz 56 seconds from going to Houston. Led by Karl Malone, 31 points. Utah with a 12-point lead in the final minute. And the defense of the Jazz has been terrific in holding down Denver, as well as only committing 6 turnovers. The Jazz, and so if it finishes out these final seconds, it'll be Utah at Houston beginning on Monday night. We'll see you in Game 4 Sunday back here in Utah.
Trying to set up a quick hitting 3 for Mahmoud. Karl Malone will foul. The one thing he didn't want to do is foul, stop the clock.
5 fouls on Karl Malone. Not happy with himself nor the call. We started today talking about Karl Malone, and he just stepped forward and said, hey, I'm not going to leave this place with anything left. You're going to get all I've got. And when he gives you all he's got, it's something special. And it was for these Utah fans today. 31 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists. He drew a couple 3 fouls.
He was huge in that first half of play. And you look at the first and second quarters where he had 10 and 12, and that really was the life force for the Utah Jazz because they were able to get a little breathing room, and then they got some other people coming to play in that third quarter. They give their foul that they had to waste, and now they'll set up again. They've got to come in, try to make a quick steal on the ball if they can, and try to force some turnover, and the Jazz have only made 6.
Abdul Rauf reaching in, and it's the 5th foul on him. Rauf, who made the 2 free throws at the other end, league's best free throw shooter. One thing for certain, all those fans cheering at McNichols Arena and in the Mile High City, their young team came down to earth in this Game 7, but they were an incredible story in this NBA playoff season. Stockton makes it 90-79. And Dan Issel said after the Seattle series, I hope my team, they're so young, I hope they don't think they're going to win the NBA championship this year. And they've carried him much farther than he and everyone expected. But what's important in Denver and Issel is that this is the team building toward their championship season. Golden State Warriors are another in the West.
They have much to look forward to. The Utah Jazz and their faithful here feel that their moment is now. They're on their feet.
And they're going to cheer the final 30 seconds of this critical victory. And they ought to carry Karl Malone. It'll take more than one of them to do it. Carry him right off the court. He wants a couple more knocked away at the last second.
There was an 18-wheeler when it turned that corner. He had a full head of steam up, and he was thinking about throwing it down for a finale. But it has been a huge, huge afternoon for Malone. Malone turned that corner, and he's got a date with the dream. It's a nightmare in the middle.
One dream ends here. Denver's in Utah, and a dream, personal dream, awaits down at the summit in Houston. Robert Papp. Sensational dunk. We've seen that throughout the playoffs, and that's something for fans. Next year, Stockton will hold it. Utah has won this semifinal series, and Karl Malone the hero. For the second time, Utah goes to the Western Conference Finals. Just as Houston earlier beat Phoenix by 10 at home, Utah prevails at home today by 10 over the renegade Denver Nuggets and Dikembe Mutombo.